Meghalaya, um, the only bias I could think of is of political, religious, and reproductive rights. Women are still not thought of or considered as capable leaders, whether in locality or in church. This is evidence the fact that we do not see women getting a chance to take part in the Darbashnong. We do not see many women pastors or women church leaders. And talking about reproductive rights, family planning, especially in rural areas, we have seen that the reproductive rights to decide by the woman is not given, that how much children she or they should bear. We do not see this much happening in the cities, but it is a glim reality in villages.
Well, I think in general there's always biasness everywhere. People face biasness all the time, but then women mostly have always had this issue where when they try to fit into a field, or a particular goal or a career that they have aimed for, they do face biasness, on all honesty, in general, as well as in Meghalaya, they still do face biasness. I think because people are so wrapped around the fact that, it's a man's world and only men can fit into this world. And if a woman has to come up in a certain field, they feel probably intimidated, and they probably feel that women don't fit in. So they either do not allow the woman to feel comfortable, or to feel like she fits in so that she could do better, or encourage her. So I think there's a lot of biasness everywhere in every aspect of field in life. And I think women, out of 100%, I think maybe right now, let's say 50 or a 60%, of women still do face biasness in different fields.
Women in matrilineal Meghalaya have to still contend with patriarchal structures, patriarchal policies that emanate out of very, very patriarchal institutions, be it government or non-government institutions, be it families or the church or the traditional institutions. And this is where we have to contend with what you ask me: is there a bias against women in Meghalaya? There definitely is a gender bias, and the kind of bias that is everyday is that while women, you may find them more on the streets, they may be more visible. However, they continue to have to face the gender stereotypes of the expected roles and responsibilities that women are expected to fulfill. And so if you look at public spaces also, there are some public spaces that are limited for women, especially participation in governance and decision making. We find that women are still kept out. And in this day and age, this is not only illegal and unconstitutional, but it is a major embarrassment for us as a community. And we have to face up to this, because it is not just about fulfilling, Article 14 of the Constitution about equality. It is about the fact that we are holding back an entire community because we are holding back its women.
Datadan pakai kon kente jongka jeng ki syai kon rei kentah ke cingsem di kente dan bon ke cingdona ngimong ba baro ang kente ngimong ke dan pa cinglong cing kente ngile sarong yok pa jongka jeng lala ka cong ke cingim lala ka cong ke cingsem lala ka cong cing kendo te kentah ke nyala ka cong cingim lala ka cong cingsem lala ka cong cing tambah ba hi kalong ba ngi ki kente bon siem kalong ka basa nyon ben ben macam ben nado ka sincar kadar nado ka emlang ka salang mat hadu apa yang ka semra bon sen chale ben me kete namar kinte ki de ki betlot bo jadan ba ka long yeng sem chungki ke barenti lang barpa kamur ka no ken ka long yeng ka ha kamet ke ben
I will not place it that way because it's incorrect to say that there is a biasness against women. In fact, women will not allow any biasness. But yes, it is definitely a male dominated world. Whether you're matrilineal community or not matrilineal community, women have to work much harder, they have to fight much more. In fact, most of the time you will see that women are actually demanding for recognition. So this is a common phenomenon for women across the globe. What is more painful is that because we are women of the state of Meghalaya, we had expected a lot more sensitivity, a lot more concessions, a lot more recognition. So, like every other woman in any part of the world, we are actually fighting a lot for our rights.
Meghalaya is a matrilineal state, so therefore the question of biasness is not there. Though I still reiterate that we should empower the women of the state. Yes, empowerment is required, but when it comes to biasness, I think it's not there. But we still feel that crime against women, then there is violence against women. These are the measures that we should check. And today also in the assembly, I had appealed to the government to ensure that the women are protected. Women of the state are protected.
Women's Day. Kasih borom jong kilong kami. Barani ka ri ki jong. Ni sungu tanat ban pen ken mau ba ban thu ba hani ka ri jong i ka don kalong ka ri ka ba khamper. Kalong ka ri ka ba kham kerpang. Amar ki ken thei ki obanta. Ha ka yeng ka sem, ha ka imlang ka salang. Wada ka sinchar ka khadaru. Ti bat la pen ken mau ru. Ba ka ken thei ru kalong kami ru ka don la ka jong ka bo. Ke tiar amar Nakakti, lakan oy, ba nakajuk akti, la senchar. Ba ni kapor, nakit bok ruyang, namta kilong kami. Barangit skamru, kendon kajing iet, ba kendon kajik ikli. Yala kajong kayeng asam kakor kajai, ba kham tam yajab.
This glass ceiling, as we are living in the 21st century where gender equality is being advocated and celebrated worldwide. So, yes, we can do so by raising our society's social and cultural consciousness, which can only happen through inclusive education, awareness, and gender sensitization.
We need to speak out. We need to resist. And these resistances, this questioning has happened. It has happened from the most far-flung village in Jainta Hills, in East Khasi Hills, in Garo Hills. And it has happened in the city as well. And we have to continue to speak up, to speak out, to make our voices heard. The world will be transformed, and it will be transformed for the better. So we must continue to speak. We must continue to come together to build solidarities and to put the truth out there, that the only way for us to move forward as a community, as a state, is to get that equality between men and women, and to ensure that Khasi women are not discriminated against, are not exploited, especially in the name of tradition and culture.
Women of the world, women of Meghalaya, you are blessed. You have your children to carry on your name, your family name, your clan name. I know it is very cumbersome. I know that most of the time when you go to every door, it's usually a lip service. But if you silently consolidate on your stand on agendas and issues, if you silently know that there's another woman amidst you who will be there to support you, go with that confidence and enjoy today as a very special day, because even the world has recognized the fact that we must dedicate one day of 365 days of the year in honor of women. And let's just take advantage of that. Smile and have a good day.
We, as policymakers of the state, will continue to stand by them and to fight for the rights of the women of the state and to give them overall support with empowerment.